Well, we've all heard of the brand. We've heard of Samaki. Some of us may have heard of BlueFish Imports, the company behind it, but I guarantee that not many of you have met this guy before. This is Josh Lowry from BlueFish Imports. Josh, thanks for coming out of your secretive bubble, mate. And it's great to introduce you to ABT Anglers because you're a great fisherman and you're a great supporter of what we do.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, no, obviously I tend to keep low profile and everything, but you've convinced me to jump on here and show a few new products off today, and obviously introduce myself to the ABT crew that we obviously sponsored the last few seasons.
Well, mate, I see a lot of similarities in what we've done. We've all, like ABT started with an idea, your company started with an idea, and I think, give us a bit of a history of BlueFish. Did it start in your garage, mate? It started pretty close to home, didn't it?
Yeah, I was, I guess I was working in retail, and I was working in retail for 13 years, and I just saw I always had an idea to start a brand in Australia, and I took the leap and resigned from my job, and we basically started in a garage, not even our garage, because at the time our house didn't have a garage, so we used some friends' garages, which was pretty funny. So we started out. I traveled overseas, done development for the first year. That was probably my favorite year of the business because I literally got to fish like 6 days a week because I was waiting for the stock to get here. And then it sort of all started to rock up, and we basically just worked our way through it. I hit the road and lived in my car for probably 3 years, just traveling from Geelong to Bundaberg, I think was my area that I run, and just when it introduced and learned the market. But we're starting the garage, and slowly we just thought, we built a garage at our own house, and we're done. We're going to pretty much run it from here forever. And 6 months later, we realised that's not going to happen. And we've moved several times since. So we've got a warehouse eventually, and 300 square meters, and then we got a 600 square meters, and now we're in over 1,000 square meters, and we're moving next year as well to a larger premises again. So it's been we've been very lucky, and we love the ride. It's been awesome.
Yeah, and we can see out the window there. You've got your soon to be relocated warehouse again, mate. Like, there's a rule, I think, when you're a growing company, too much space is never enough, because if you get the space, you will fill it with something.
Yeah, we like every time our first warehouse we went into, we're like, we will never fill this ever, and then come here, and we're like, we're definitely not going to fill this one. And it's pretty crazy to think that we're actually going bigger again. But obviously Australian anglers have got behind us, and it's helping us grow. It's been as I said, overwhelming. So
that's good, mate. A lot of the ABT anglers will be familiar with some of your hero products, like your Zing rods. There's probably not too many of us that don't own one or have fished with one. Take us through the birth of Zing, mate. They're a very suitable rod for Australian fish. Tell us about the design process and how it came to be.
Yeah, well, Zing was original. So when the company started, I started with 16 rods. We had 4 offshore rods. I had 6 Zing rods. So we had like a 2 to 4 kilo, a snappery sort of rod, a medium sort of medium estuary light offshore rod, and that range was straight away. As soon as we introduced it to the market, it took off. We had the camo grips, was kind of our bit of a signature thing back then. No one really had camo grips in the industry. And we've just grown it. And being obviously an angler myself, I'm extremely fussy on blanks and actions. And over time, we just improve. And I've learned more technology. New carbon comes out from Japan, and it's grown to, I think, just the Zing rod is up to around over 30 different blanks. So I was going through my blank data the other day, and I've developed over 370 blanks since we started the company. So it's like people don't realize how much work goes into one blank. It's like, especially for us, we have very strict QC, and it takes a long time just adjusting guide sizing, actions. It's just for different, obviously, lures, as the ABT anglers know, that there's lots of different rods for different applications. But it's just progressed. As new guides come out, everything's come out. We've just sort of progressed with, obviously, we use a lot of Japanese componentry. Obviously, Fuji being a major supplier for us, and it's just progressed, and then we've brought out higher quality rods, so Zing Extreme. So that's become kind of was our flagship rod. And now we've gone a step higher than that now into C12, which is our premium sort of, 40-ton Toro carbon, and just the best of the best you can buy, but still, obviously, being the Samaki brand, we offer exceptional value for money.
Yeah, they always have been a good rod for a good price, mate. Something else, the Samaki brand, I always think the Vibalicious vibes, mate. Like, and you hit the market at exactly the right time with those. Like the North Queenslanders learnt that, that these soft vibes were all right. You make the small ones for the brim and bass guys. Is that your best-selling lure that you do? I'd have to assume it's up there.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. We've obviously grown that range pretty big. Not an easy lure to fine tune, even though they look very, very common, very easy. A bit of lead inside, a plastic. It's not as simple as that. But I remember testing one. We're actually fishing Clary Hall Dam Electric bass comp. I was fishing, and I literally just received 7 samples that I had like within 0.2, 0.4 of a gram difference in weight, slightly different eyelets, and I had literally, they were opaque white, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 written on the side of them. I tested them in the pool, as I always do, to see what I think was the best. And obviously, I feel like if you can get a shut-down bass to bite, you're on a winner. That's always been I grew up bass fishing. And if you can get a shut-down school of bass to nibble on something, it pretty much works in a lot of different situations. So, on that comp, I basically started fishing. We found the school of bass very late in the evening, so we let it go because they were already spread out. So I hit it first thing in the morning. Went back with obviously number 2 was the standout.
Yep.
We had a couple of other mates that were there fishing with obviously other plastics and ice jigs and all different technique. And I pulled 6 bass in before anybody had hooked one fish, and it was a bit of a pretty exciting time for us. We done well on the comp purely because of this number 2 opaque with the big number 2 that I have hung up in my garage at home.
Yep.
And and we obviously went into mass production, and it's been pretty successful since then. We've obviously added way too many colours to the range. Just obviously we've got a big country, and it's very diverse. What different areas we want. So. And we introduced the 85 mil and the big 150 mil that we released last year that we offered at the trade show. So, but it's obviously a pretty big series. There's a lot of models, a lot of colours, but they're deadly. And it was a very winter driven thing, vibes, but we actually sell them all year round. People find applications for them all year round now. So.
And I think, in my opinion, one of the most standout colours you have in the Vibalicious is that, like, the white pilly colour. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's that beautiful clear opaque with the, I grew up fishing on the north coast of New South Wales, and they used to, beach net those white pillies, and we'd be down at the pros grabbing a bucket of them saying, thanks, guys, let's have some of your leftovers. But that is a dead ringer, isn't it? It must be one of your...
Yeah. So a white bait was our first sort of colour, and it literally exploded. It was we matched the hatch, obviously they look so real, silver cheeks, lateral line, and it just catches everything. We've had even bass eat them, which they don't even eat on, but it's a very successful lure. So we try to replicate, obviously have your UV and your bright colours, and we also throw in some natural colours there that we've grown that range. We've got like a little yakka now, a little salmi mackerel, new hardy head. The hardy head has gone. I had a photo from 2016 that Instagram, someone on, it might have been Facebook back then, on social media, sent me a photo of our whitebait Vibalicious that had caught a hardy head in Lake Macquarie, and it was just the best photo because it had come out of the water. It was just fresh as on a dark background, and he sent it to me, and the hardy head was the same size as the lure. So I took a screenshot and I've saved it, and over time we've developed the colour hardy head to match that exact one, and it's still been the best reference. And it's obviously it's actually becoming one of our best selling colours now.
It's awesome, mate. I love the process. You're involved with ABT this year. You've got some cool lures coming out for the Barra side of things. But before that, I'd like to announce to everyone watching the show that the Queensland Open, of course, has been rescheduled a couple of times due to COVID, but now it's sitting on the 15th and 16th of August. the Samaki Queensland Open, mate. And one of your sponsored anglers, Jamie McEwen, he's got that trophy sitting at home at the moment. I think he was pretty happy that he got to keep it for an extra few months because of the COVID stuff. But your relationship with Jamie McEwen must be great to support an angler with so much hardware on the shelf.
Yeah, no, Jamie's been a obviously awesome supporter for us from day one. He's an unbelievable brim fisherman and all-round fisherman, I shouldn't really say he's a brim fisherman. He can do everything.
Yeah.
But obviously, coming to the Australian Open, last year he's pretty happy about it. But no pressure. But obviously, he has to definitely win it again this year because we are sponsoring it. Otherwise, it'll be a letdown. So Jamie, no pressure. But yeah, you're on.
He's on notice, and look, it happens all the time. The naming sponsor of the event, their anglers typically do pretty well. So let's see if we can ride that karma to another victory this year. There are a whole lot of guys watching this show that are saying, "No, that's not going to happen. We're gonna give it a race that parade." Take us through your. You've got a few new baits there, and a lot of the guys on the show like seeing these new baits. So I'll get you to run through some of these new baits you got, and they're all the way from bass and brim up to barra. I want you to hold them nice and close up to the camera and just tell us what's coming out.
Yeah, so a new series. Anybody following on social might have seen these new lures. So this is a new range of lures that we've been working on for a long time now. But yeah, called Reddick. We sort of, when we started making them, we between me and a few friends, we have this, like when something's really good, we say it's ridiculous. So we've kind of shortened it to Reddick, and then obviously we're playing on it that they are ridiculously good. So, but yeah, big range. As you said, like brim bass. So like we start off with a 60 mil MS60, which is obviously like a 1.5 meter diving suspending lure. So obviously really good on the bass, big brims, and obviously all around estuary. We also have a deeper version in a 60 mil. So guys, down this way, I know we've had a lot of success already in the bass scene. They've only been out of, literally on the shelves for 2 or 3 months, but the prototypes, our gun local mate Macquarie angler Dan Guilfoy has been up fishing Lake Sinclair and Lake Glenbourne, and we've had really good success just working those hard edges.
Yep.
On those, 80 mil, obviously 80 mil, 3 meters. You'll see when we go up to the 80 mil model, the hooks jump up in strength. So this is a brand new hook. When we started designing this lure, we basically, when you've got to get everything perfect, you need to have the hardware that you're going to make. So BKK actually made us a sample set of this hook, so we knew exact weight of them for mass production, and then everything internally and air cavity and everything is adjusted so we can get the perfect action and perfectly suspend as well, because it's not easy to make every lure suspend perfectly. But obviously strong split rings and huge color range. But there's also a 100 mil model as well, and a 120. This is the 120, but very different as far as I believe no one's ever produced a range of lures, especially Aussie company, that we've tried to nail the action from all the models. So right from the 60 mil to the 120 mil, the action is very consistent. So and obviously our fish, we know, obviously it's my thing. I study actions on lures, being a bit of a lure rat, and I have thousands of lures that I've when I was young and been in the fishing tackle industry. But obviously we've basically implemented all the good points from all lures, and we've created a Aussie design lure here that catches everything from basically, as you said, brim right up to big bar and stuff like that. So there's also a SF series, which is a SF standing for shallow floating. This is a 90 mil model. But yeah, obviously really good for the flats guys, flathead, all that sort of stuff, especially the barras. 125 mil. Same using those 4X BKK hooks, and right up to the 150, which is it's a bit of a crossover, this lure, like the being 150 mil, 3 hooks. So down our way where we are, Central Coast, New South Wales, Newcastle, mid-north coast, we spin this for jewfish. So it's got, it's got a fair bit of weight in it. It's like 35 grams. But obviously predominantly designed for like trolling, like Darwin, especially like Darwin, their runoff. They have to. Originally, we designed it with a sliding weight to get more distance in casting, but a few of our pro anglers in Darwin testing them, they run really fast up there. They can run, 4, 5, 6 knots, some of them, which you'll see. And we had a problem with the movement internally, so we had to change it to a fixed weight to get the perfect action, so it can pretty much do everything. But they still cast really well for the guys down here chasing dew. But yeah, obviously in store now. All your online guys have got them, but you'll see them. They'll flow through the shops. But yeah, huge colour range, and obviously being us, we've implemented a lot of the colours from our viabilitions, like we spoke about the white bait, the hardy head. A few old favourites back, like back in the day, this colour here. A man stretch 10 was like my standout lure. It was the grey ghost. They caught everything. So we've sort of done a bit of a twist on it. With the grey back, UV orange belly with a hot foil silver cheek on it. So we've kept your traditional colours, but we've also got some pretty funky colours in there as well.
Well, that's awesome, mate. And it's really good to see that you've got the hardware right. Like, you can pull these out of the box and fish them. Man, too many $20 or $30 lures. You've got to pull out the box, tear the hardware off, get it right. It's just good to be able to tie something on and go fishing with it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and that's the whole thing with this series. A lot of the lures made are not made for our market. And it's not a design fault. It's just they're designed for different species. Where we in Australia we have big fish that pull hard and break stuff. So we've had to design it. We design it the other way. We got the hardware, and then we built it around the hardware. So
that's awesome, mate. Look, thank you very much for coming and showing your face on here, mate. It's taken us a while to get you on, but we've got you on. Just give us a quick shout out to your socials. I know you're pretty active on the social media. What's your Instagram and other social pages so that people can come and check your stuff out?
Yeah, so Samaki Fishing, at Samaki Fishing, you'll see us on both Facebook and Instagram. We're obviously very active. We have hundreds of messages a day, I would say, but we love it. We love it. My partner Kate, she controls most of the social. I jump in every now and then, but it's pretty funny. Some of the guys get on there and chat to her and think it's me, and there's a few laughs in between. But obviously, send us a DM. Obviously we love to hear. We love getting photos of our product in fish's mouth, or rods being bent, even our apparel, whatever it is. Definitely jump on, follow us, and we'll give you a shout out where we can.
That's awesome, mate. Now, just one final thing I've got is Kate just hanging out of shot there. You can get Kate to shove her head in and say good day to everyone. So we can see who's behind the socials. Come on. We want the scoop here. There she goes. I can see her. Here she comes. There you go. So there, everybody, there's the real brains behind this company right here.
No, far from it, but we're definitely a good team. So we
make a good team.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. And I really think the public enjoyed meeting both of you at the public day at the trade show last year. So when trade shows are on again, hopefully next year, we can see both of you guys and come and check out what you've got new for us. So thanks very much for being on the show, Kate. And thanks very much for being such great supporters of ABT.
No worries at all.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Steve.